Alright, so what we've done is we've used two methods to solve for right triangles. One is Pythagorean Theorem, and you have to have two sides. The other one was a shortcut, but for you to use a shortcut, it has to be 45, 45, 90 isosceles. On number 5, this is 40 degrees, so I cannot use the shortcut. I can't use Pythagorean Theorem because I don't have two sides. See how you only have a 13 on the outside? You don't have two sides. So because we cannot solve it with the two methods, we're going to have to solve it with the third method called trigonometry. So this is on page 67. Please copy the notes for trigonometry. I will sometimes shorten it and abbreviate trigonometry, and I'll say trig. So this one is when you solve, when you have a right triangle and you are solving for a side. Now for this one, to use trig, you need one side only and an acute angle. That means an angle less than 90. 90 does not count because that's a right angle. And so we're going to use trigonometry. So trigonometry comes from three trig ratios, three trigonomic ratios that I'm going to talk to you about. Now the steps, we're going to put in this video and then we'll do examples in the other video. You need to follow the steps step by step so you don't mess up. Every step is important. Alright, I'm going to open this up because video can't be like 100 years long. Okay, so here's step 1. I'll put it back on there in just a minute. The first thing you need to do is you need to label the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse side is across 90 degrees. Okay, so we've done that one before. It's the C. But we call this one hypotenuse, and we're going to write the word hypotenuse. After we label the hypotenuse, we label the opposite. The opposite is across the acute angle. Okay, we label the opposite. We write the word opposite. Now, the adjacent is the one left over, the one that we did not label, the one that's next to the angle. So the reason I have students do it in this order is it makes it easier to know which one is the adjacent if you do it in this order. So that's the first 3 steps to label. The fourth step, it's important that you're going to write down this. I have, and you're going to write down which one you have. You're going to write one of these words. Then you write, I'm looking for, okay? I guess step 0 should have put label X. Okay, so the one that you have, that's where you have the number. You're going to have a number there. The one that you're looking for is your X. It'll tell you in the problem which one you're looking for. After you do this, you're going to choose a ratio. There are 3 trig ratios. First one is called sine of your angle. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Do you mind opening the door a little for her? Cosine of the angle is adjacent. Where's my pen? Over hypotenuse. Can you lock the door before you sit down, please? Who took my open? I guess I'll use blue. Adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent, that's the third one we'll use. There's more, but we're only going to use these for right now. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. Now, it would be a good idea to memorize these. The way I memorize them is by something called SOHCAHTOA. So is S-O-H, Ka, C-A-H, Toa, T-O-A. SOHCAHTOA. So you're going to have to pick one of these. Whatever you have here, if you have sine and cosine, adjacent and opposite, then you would use this one. It depends on what you have and what you're looking for. Then you pick one of these. This is the order. You cannot change the order. That's the ratio. You cannot put hypotenuse on top. You cannot put opposite bottom. This is the ratio. This is how they go. Alright, once you pick a ratio, you're going to write the ratio. And then you're going to solve. That's the last step. Now, here's a quick way to, kind of a shortcut. Here's how you can solve. If x is down, D for down, D for divide. If x is up, you multiply. And we're going to do some examples. It might sound confusing. Once you see an example, I hope it'll clear it up.